He was once a thug from around the way. Easy.
As a toddler, you really have to know him and to love him. He was really a nice child. He was very sweet, and he was always active, and he just was a jolly child. He was really happy. Well, you know, one thing, I never really thought that it would go this far, but he always, you know, wanted to do something great.
You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
We interrupt this concert to bring you a special bulletin. EAZY-E is now a fugitive wanted by the local authorities.
EAZY-E, we have to build this around. There is no escape. I repeat, there is no escape. When you're black out.
Me and Easy grew up in the same neighborhood and what have you. Because he was out doing this thing, he was on the street hustling and what have you. I was DJing, trying to make my money doing that.
Well, I met Easy. When I first met him, I think I met him in front of my house. You know, he was with Dre. And, you know, Dre used to tell me about all the stuff they did together, you know what I'm saying? The parties and stuff Easy and Dre used to do, you know, before the Wrecking Crew and stuff.
When I first met him, it's like we grew up together, you know what I'm saying? He stayed like right around the corner. And he was like my older brother age, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, he was the man, you know what I'm saying? The neighborhood hustling, you know what I'm saying? He was doing his thing, he was like the man, you know what I'm saying?
I actually never heard of him, never knew him, because he wasn't a rapper or anything. He was from a different side of Compton, and I was on this side of Compton. So, you know, I never knew him. Dre knew him because they stayed in the same neighborhood.
So Easy was always a cool little, you know, he would always come around and just be in the background. You know, we knew he had a little paper just by the way he dressed and just his aura, and he wanted to get in the game.
I decided to go find a couple of artists to rap, you know, over some of the tracks that I had. And I needed some money to go into the studio. And there was only two people that I knew with that kind of money that would be willing to invest into something that you know, some idea that I had. One was Easy, the other was Laylaw.
E&I and the NWA, we go back before music, before the first record was released as an NWA or Easy thing, anything like that. I knew Dre. Dre stayed down the street with his cousin and or whatever. He used to be there. Through that relationship, I met Easy.
I called Easy and Laylaw over, sprung the idea to him like, yo, let's make a record, let's do a company, the whole and let's put it together. So Easy was with it because Easy always dig music and what have you. We used to make our little tapes in the back of his house and everything. I knew Cube and I liked the way Cube wrote, so I asked him to write a song.
His group was like that. He's from LA, we from New York. Ain't nowhere in the world is a LA dude supposed to write New York rappers' rhymes, and it was a big argument. And the song was called Boys in the Hood. So now Dre told Easy, won't you do it?
So it's just me and Easy sitting in the studio. So I'm like, yo man, won't you just say these lyrics down over this track, right? And he's like, man, I can't rap, man, I can't do that. I'm like, just do it. Put your glasses on, cut the lights down, let's do it.
Easy was like, I ain't no rapper, so it took him about 3 days to convince him to do it. And it took about 3 days for him to actually do it too, because, you know, Easy he wasn't tight as he was, of course. He was kind of loose, real loose, straight amateur. And we worked with him the whole way through it. Boys in the Hood is what came out.
Cruising down the street in my 6'4", jocking the freaks, clocking the dough. Went to the park to get the scoop. Knuckleheads out there, cold shooting some hoops.
And what we did was went around and left one record at all the record shops and a card. It was a card to Easy's pager. Actually, the card wasn't to Easy's pager. It was to my cousin's house that lived by Cube. So people would call her and order the records, right? It's like, yo, I need a box. So she would page us and say, yo, they need a box over there on Florence. You know what I'm saying? So we shoot over there on Florence, drop the box off, come up like that. The record somehow, you know, just exploded. You know what I'm saying? One of the reasons why it exploded was because of Greg Mack of the K-Day. It was a radio station out here at the time called 1580 K-Day. I thought it was good because I'd heard it before. Actually, they had already been selling it as cassette tapes. So it was all over town in the streets and cassette tapes. So I told him, I said, look, it's a decent song. Why don't you just clean up the lyrics? And then we'll give it a shot. And so Dre and EAZY went back, I think it was like a day or two later. We had a whole different version, but it was a clean version. Put it on the air, and it just blew up. In the meantime, while we were selling the Boys in the Hood records, I was still DJing, you know, making like $50 a week DJing. So when me and Cube used to hook up in the garage, and we would practice a routine, a show. What we would do was just take like the hit song that was out at the time and make it dirty.
That's what gave us our style, you know, performing at clubs like Dudos and stuff like that. We would take songs and flip them around like Roxanne, Roxanne, we made it Diane, Diane. And that's what kind of like, you know, snowballed into this gangster rap style, doing little stuff on the side and seeing the people's reaction to it.
From there, we got on a tour with Hammer and Salt and Pepper and Heavy D. Exploded from there. So we decided to form the group NWA.
Dre told me, said, well, let's go out and do these shows with my buddy Eric. And I said, all right, no problem. So I met him and stuff. It was cool. And we started doing shows, and then everything else was history.
Yo, what you gotta do?
Got to get stupid. Got to get stupid. Got to get stupid.
Oh! What you gotta do, eh?
Got to get stupid.
Fresh. Yeah! Make some noise for EAZY, motherfucking E.
Compton's in the house.
The all-star group is all of us, me, Dre, Ren, Ice Cube, and mine is me, solo. That's my album. It's by myself, solo. We make our records based on stuff that's happening where we live, you know.
Everybody grew up in the street. Everybody know what's going on.
That's explaining how it is with us. You know, where we're coming from. Not Beverly Hills or nothing like that. That's explaining how it is in Compton.
EAZY and NWA dropped their first record. The music business, the streets had changed dramatically, okay? The streets had went from being cool to being very hostile and very violent. And EAZY them created the soundtrack for the streets.
Everything you hear on our records is true.
Like we got a real controversial song coming out called F the Police.
It'll be out in January.
What is that talking about? Well,
Self-explanatory. The police.
For no reason at all, because you black, you got a little bit of money.
And we getting back at them.
Beepers,
All police ain't bad police. It's like 90% of it. You know,
The
and
90%.
we're talking about that 90%.
Sometimes I want to kick the shit out of them because they've been having me face down. Want to kick the shit out of them. Since you've been in the music business, have you had? Probably not.
This letter had come in from the FBI, and I was asked to deal with it, handle it, or whatever. And at the time, this was the first time we'd ever really seen, you know, the federal government or a police organization or whatever go after a rap group that we know of and come out and actually take credit for it. The federal government is not supposed to intimidate, suppress, or in any manner stop the dissemination of constitutionally protected material. And if anything ever was in the history of rap music constitutionally protected, it had to have been the song The Police. I later asked Eric about it, and he just thought it was hysterical. He thought this stuff was like funny. I think he was amused that people thought it was so important what he did and what he thought. I think that amused him. He was terribly amused. He had dinner with the president. He just thought it was the most funny thing in the world that he got to have dinner with the president.
No, I wouldn't know I was having lunch with Bush. It was that I'm on these things called Athletes and Entertainers for Kids, Make-A-Wish Foundation. I give a lot of donations to different organizations. So what they did is they picked my name off giving donations, and they sent me an invitation to come down there. An invitation said, we want to invite you to the Republicans Party. I'm not no Republican, you know. So I went down there. When we went down there, as soon as I got off the plane, you had CBS, CNN, and all these people like EAZY-E, gang member, drug dealer, and all this, you know, comes down here to the president's luncheon and all that, you know, and they just blew it up. Basically what I did is I paid $1,500 for $1 million worth of press.
Above all, EAZY was the consummate businessman. He understood power, he understood marketing, he understood control. He was very Machiavellian. You know, for Ruthless, in the early days, Ice Cube verbalized, Dre musicalized, EAZY conceptualized, and I financialized, and that's what Ruthless was. If anyone thinks that someone beside EAZY-E ran that company, then it was someone that really didn't know EAZY-E.
I learned a lot from EAZY. I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about, you know, you don't have to transform yourself to be a good businessman. You don't have to put on three-piece suits. And you can just kind of like be yourself. You could be young, hungry, and successful, you know, and I mean, that's what I learned from him, you know, and I still use some of the things that I learned from his business, you know, practices to this day.
EAZY had a concept, or the concept evolved at Ruthless, which I thought was a terrific concept. We took all the best people, they worked on a record, we finished the record, we put the record out, and we started on the next record. So we did Straight Outta Compton, we did Easy Does It. When we're done with that, we did Michelet's record, we did DOC's record. So you had the single most talented person in the history of rap music, Andre Young, doing the producing. And you know, we had all the best guys doing the writing, Doc and Cube and EAZY. And I'll tell you something, only later on, after Dre left, did we get away from those principles that made us so successful.
A hardcore rapper who celebrates sex, crime, and violence in his music is in a hospital tonight with AIDS. He says he has no idea how he got the fatal disease.
You know, like a month and a half before he got sick, and I'm kind of thinking New York is where he got sick because what happened, I was in the club. The club was called The Tunnel. That's near the river. Man, it was so cold. I'd never been that cold in my life, and the cabs wasn't stopping for no. So I stood outside for about 20 minutes, man, till my eyeballs was freezing. I went inside. He took off walking by himself. And I just know that's where he got sick.
I thought it was a serious problem then the first time when he went to the hospital, but then shortly thereafter when he wasn't getting better, maybe about a week later, and we went back and they started running a lot of tests, and definitely when I got the call with the diagnosis, that's when I knew it was serious.
I went to the hospital and I went into Eric's room and I think Tamika was in, and Eric wanted to talk to me. He said, "Mom, I have something to tell you." And I said, "Well, tell me then." He said, the doctor said I had something like Magic Johnson have, I'm sorry. And I said, "You mean to tell me?" And then he said, "AIDS."
Well, I heard it as a rumor from, you know, from my homeboy's mother who works up there. About a week later, you know, all these, you know, people kept saying stuff, but it was still a rumor, you know, still felt like a rumor. His assistant called me, and I went to school with her, so we know each other, and she just told me the real.
When the diagnosis was given and took place with the doctor, there were conversations between myself and him and his family of how to approach it, and due to the fact that he was in the limelight in terms of the public eye, other than just being Eric White at home or, you know, that's my buddy, you know, there are young people, older people, people that look to him as fans, kind of like, what are you doing, what's going on, good, bad, whatever, that something needed to be released, something needed to be said.
I'm not saying this because I'm looking for a soft cushion wherever I'm heading. I just feel that I got thousands and thousands of young fans that have to learn about what's real when it comes to AIDS.
I think Eazy's death changed not only me, but so many people in the community, black community, whatever community, in the ghetto rather, about AIDS, and letting you know that not just the people way up here can get it, but the people down in the streets can also get it.
It's something that is real, it's something that is out there, and other than just Eric dying from the disease, there are lots of other people, millions of people that are dying from the disease every day and that are suffering from it.
I always knew that was some not to with, and I always knew, you know, even in my young stupid days, you know, when I was a youngster, you know, I took pride in strapping it on, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, EAZY-E was a little more free with himself than that, you know what I'm saying? He said live it to the fullest, and that's what he did, you know, so I couldn't really shed no tears for EAZY-E because he's he done lived life to the fullest, you know what I'm saying? He's done been on the bottom all the way up to the top, you know, he lived it how he wanted to.
Should have known by now, Eazy does it.
Got a shoot to do in the hour. What I'm gonna do?
Yo, homie, don't even sweat that. My boy here got the hookup. Yo, show him what time it is.
Yeah.
It's all there, Holmes.
That'll work. Yeah.
Straight off the streets of Compton, dedicated and by most suckers hated. Would you put your hands together for EAZY-E?
Some help from Ren and Dre, making a way with dope style. So Eazy, what you gotta say? A miracle, modern creation. Eazy-E's on the set, hyped up with the bass and a little bit of what you love from a brother who's smooth like a criminal. I mean subliminal, otherwise known as a villain. Because I'm ruthless, when I spot a sucker, I kill him. But most I think know not to deal with me. Yo, it's obvious. Tell them who you came to see. Everybody, come on. A little louder, say it. Come on, say it, say it, say it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Who y'all come to see? A little louder, come on, say it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Hey, yo, Yellow Boy, take me to the bridge. What's up? Why you wear your pants like that? I wear my pants like this for easy access, baby. Yeah, that's right. Yo, boy, where we taking this jam to? Where? Alright. Now I wanna know who y'all came to see. Everybody in the house. Come on, say easy, come on. Say it, say it, say it, say it. Come on, everybody, come on. I can't hear you. Cause this is the way I know you like it, so you won't strike it. I took it and I hyped it. And now that it's done, I know you're pleased at how the E just does it with ease. Just imagine a crowd screaming, a girl dreaming, just to get a picture of me and my B-O-Y-Z from the H-double-O-D and W-A down with me. Strong and I'm raging, turn the page and see I'm not a son of a gun, I'm a gauging. Nothing can avoid this shot cause it's hitting. It's so cool when you touch it where I'm mitten. I'm coming off raw into your speaker, making the suckers on the street feel weaker. But most I think know not to deal with me. Yo, it's obvious, tell them who you came to see. Everybody, come on. Hey, yo, this record's almost over. So that means y'all gotta get hyped up. Come on, come on, come on. I wanna see those hands up in the air. Come on, say it, say it, say it. Who y'all come to see? Here's Easy. Never, I'm just too clever. So in fact that no one can sever a blow from a maniac, and know I make it clear. So it registers all I hear. Money overturned, then I jet to make another hit for you to go and get. Record store sold out because you love it. Another example of how easy does it. Who y'all want? Oh yeah, all of them. Why not take all of them? Who y'all come to see? Can I get down one time? Yeah, you know what time it is. Let me take off my logo so I can see what I'm saying. Tell me who y'all came to see?
And that's the way Easy does it, baby.